So what is up, everybody? This is going to be my Extreme Rules 2015 review. I did end up watching the whole thing last night. The network started slowing down for the main event, so that's like the only match where I missed a little bit. But other than that, I did see the whole show. Again, I apologize. My voice is a little hoarse. I'm a little sick. But yeah, I don't have the network anymore, actually. My network subscription ended after the pay-per-view last night. I'll probably pick it up around Payback, hopefully, so I can watch that pay-per-view, but, yeah. And finally, sorry guys, on this video, it's not really going to be edited much, but I plan to, like, start editing my videos and, you know, make them a little higher quality in the future. But for now, I'm just going to talk about this show. First off, it started with the pre-show, and actually, I'm going to talk about the pre-show for a second. I have been liking what WWE has been doing with the pre-shows for the past year, I guess. They've had these little pre-show discussions before pay-per-views, and I think it's awesome. I actually like Booker T a lot better in the panel discussion group than on commentary, but I honestly love it. It makes the whole show just look that much more important. There's actual discussion on it, and you know the panel's good. It's always Booker T, Byron Saxton, Corey Graves, and I'm sorry, I always forget the blonde girl, but she's very good, and I apologize that I forget her name. Also, the pay-per-view started off, and they just started a New Day sucks chant all by themselves, the fans did, so I thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, so that's pretty much the pre-show. Oh yeah, during the pre-show, there was a Naomi interview. She sounded more like a tweener than a face to me, and you know, she was like standing up for herself and what she believes in. And honestly, I don't find that much of a problem with it. She doesn't really sound like a heel to me. She sounds like a face, or you know, just a tweener. Dean Ambrose came out of nowhere and just talked some shit on his match with Harper later in the show. What else happened? Bray Wyatt cut a promo out of nowhere, which was crazy. I thought he was going to show up later in the night. He actually did not. Might show up on Raw today. And then also there was the actual match during the pre-show. Bad News Barrett versus Neville. Pretty sure B&B cut a promo at the beginning. And it was pretty good, you know, talking about why Daniel Bryan was injured, that he injured him, and that he wanted to fight Neville. And it was a pretty good match. I liked it. I'm not really going to give it a rating, to be honest, but I thought this was a solid opener to get the crowd hype, and, you know, it was fine. Trying to think what happened at the ending sequence. The ending sequence, I actually did like the ending sequence. It was like Barrett was looking for a bullhammer while Neville was already on the top rope. Neville moved, kicked Barrett in the face, and then did the red arrow for the win. So overall, it was a good match. Then there was like a Kane Q&A segment. It went nowhere. Kane pretty much telling everybody to fuck off, pretty much in this character. And Tom sounded like he was going to cry at the end of the interview when Kane started yelling at him. It was pretty funny. So the first actual match of the night was the Chicago Street Fight between Dean Ambrose and Harper. And I thought that this was okay. They did fight for a little bit in the ring. They went outside of the ring. There was like a couple of kendo shots here and there. Then they got into the car, and this is when I had a problem with it. Not that, you know, they're trying something different, which I like. But the thing is, you know, they went to the car and then left. And then the WWE had like another match in between, or actually another 2 matches in between this. And then they came back after the tag title match to continue the match. And I didn't have a problem with that in general. I just feel like they should have waited 5 minutes in between, not like an hour or 30 minutes in between, because there's literally a half hour to an hour that we don't know what happened during the match. And we just see them coming back through the arena. And, you know, it's fine and all, but I wish it was just 5 minutes, not 30 minutes. But overall, I'll give that match like a 2.5 stars. Again, it kind of lost a little steam when they came. They literally left for like an hour and then came back and just tried to do the ending. The ending was fine. I'm pretty sure it was like a Dirty Deeds, just onto the mat. But, you know, they were doing moves with like a bunch of steel chairs laid out over the ring. I thought it was fine, but only 2.5 stars. I thought that, you know, they just should have, if they wanted to do that little car thing, they could have left and came back about 5 minutes afterwards instead. There was a backstage authority segment, and Kane just said he was going to do what's best for business. After that, we had the Kiss Me Arse match between Ziggler and Sheamus. I honestly thought that this match was okay. The ending segment at the end when the match was finally over, I thought went on for a little bit too long. But the match, I'm pretty sure Sheamus just whooped Ziggler's ass the entire match. Ziggler was trying to show up here and there, but Sheamus kept on stopping him. I'm pretty sure the ending came eventually when Ziggler got a roll-up for the win on Sheamus, which I don't mind in this scenario. And then the end segment, Sheamus was acting like he was going to kiss Ziggler's ass, but he didn't. Ends up beating down Ziggler, and then makes Ziggler put his forehead on Sheamus's ass, which was stupid. You could easily tell it was Ziggler's forehead, but it was what it was. Yeah, so Ziggler won. Not really surprised by that. I think I did predict that. However, I thought the ending was just a little bit too long. So I'll give this match about 2 3/4 stars. The next match was honestly probably one of the better matches of the night, the tag title match between New Day and the Brass Ring Club. And this match was the shit. Like, a lot of good things happened in this match. Big E and Cesaro really looked well in this match. I liked Xavier Woods on the outside, too, with his commentary saying, why are you guys booing us? And, New Day was hated by this crowd, and it was awesome. They booed the shit out of them. But in the end, New Day got the win. I'm pretty sure when Kofi Kingston rolled up Tyson Kidd, I'm pretty sure this match ended on a roll-up. I'm not 100% positive. But honestly, this was like the match of the night. I'll give this about 3.5 stars. New Day, new champs. I have nothing to complain about with this. After that match, there was a backstage interview with the New Day in which the Chicago Street Fight ended up coming back on when I'm pretty sure Dean Ambrose jumped onto the New Day and Harper when they were backstage. But yeah, that was that. Next match was the Russian Chain match, which I thought was good with the gimmick. A lot of these times, like, they have these bull rope matches, and it's kind of hard to have a decent match out of them. And in this match, they didn't really use the chain much as a weapon. The chain was used a lot in the match. Just, trying to, when Cena and Rusev were trying to outmaneuver each other to touch the post. But as a weapon itself, it really wasn't used that much as a weapon. Later in the match, I'm pretty sure Rusev kicked Lana out because the fans were chanting her name and she was, taunting. So Rusev let her go. And in the end, I hated this fucking ending. It was, I forget exactly, but I just remember it was really anticlimactic and lame. Cena just touched all 4 corners really easy. Oh yeah, they were all. I'm pretty sure Cena and Rusev both touched 3 at one point, and they both just needed to get one more post. And they both looked at it. Cena just pulls on the chain, gives Rusev an attitude adjustment, and touches the post, and that was the end of the match. I thought it was kind of stupid and a lame ending. I thought their match at Fastlane and WrestleMania was better than this, but it was okay for what it was. For a Russian Chain match, I thought they did a fine job. I'll give it a 3 stars. Some people might think that I'm overrating it. I honestly don't. They did pretty well with what they had to do, in my opinion. The next match was the Divas title match between Nikki and Naomi, and I thought that this match was good. It wasn't NXT Diva standard or NXT Women's Wrestling standards, but it was better than the shit that we see on Raw every week. It felt like the match went on about like 7 minutes, so they gave it time. There was like a little bit of a story. Also, by the way, Naomi has a new theme song and new attire, kind of. I thought it looked, I'm not really too happy about the theme song. I don't really think it's that great, but to be honest, she needed a new theme song. She had Brodus Clay's theme song from like fucking years ago. That shit needed to be done and over with. I'm happy that she has her own theme. But this match was fine. I wish Naomi would have won, to be honest, but Nikki winning I don't really hate it that much. Nikki's held the belt for like 5 months, and I feel like she's actually made some people somewhat give a fuck about the Divas title, even though it is just a butterfly. I feel like she's done a really good job as champ, and it was a solid match. Ending, I forget what happened. Maybe there was a rack attack. My mind's drawing a blank a little bit, guys. Sorry, but it was a good match. I'll give it about 2.5 stars. But for Diva standards, it was very good. But I'll give it about 2.5 stars. It was announced later in the show that Rusev and Cena are gonna have a match at Payback in an I Quit match. Personally, I don't want to see this. Rusev. They've had 3 pay-per-views in a row now that they've had a match. And, I just feel like this is overkill. Unless Rusev wins the next match at Payback, I find this pointless. There's no way that Rusev is going to make Cena say I quit. If he does, then, I'll be happy that this match takes place. But if Rusev ends up losing that match, there's really no point for it to happen, really, in my honest opinion. Now, okay, here's the real match of the night, in my honest opinion. Roman Reigns versus The Big Show in the Last Man Standing match. And first off, Roman Reigns got a really good crowd reaction during his entrance. Might have just been because everybody hates Big Show, but, who knows. But during this match, it was like a story that Roman Reigns needed weapons to beat up the Big Show, and Big Show didn't need weapons. Anytime Roman Reigns tried to throw a weapon into the ring, Big Show would destroy it. He destroyed a table, a couple tables actually, that Roman Reigns tried to throw in. Just every time Roman Reigns has tried to have a weapon, Big Show just tried to get rid of it. And, I think that this match was so good just because everybody's expectations were so shit. I didn't expect this match to be any good whatsoever. We've seen Big Show and Roman Reigns, so I really wasn't expecting this match to be that great. But they told a really good story throughout this match. I thought that this was honestly, this is one of Big Show's best matches since his second stint in the company, ever since he came back around WrestleMania 24 to face Floyd Mayweather. I feel like this is one of his best one-on-one matches, even though it is a gimmick match. I feel like this is one of his best matches. And also something that, I've been thinking about, Roman Reigns has delivered three one-on-one matches the last 3 pay-per-views. Fastlane versus Daniel Bryan, WrestleMania versus Brock Lesnar, and here versus The Big Show. And I feel like all 3 he's done well, to be honest. And I feel like this match is really a signature win for him. Hopefully, 5 years from now, we can look back at this match in particular and say this is probably when people started liking Roman Reigns again. And I thought that this match was great. The ending came when Roman Reigns... There was a bunch of crazy shit that happened in the match, so I'm not going to talk about everything. Sorry. But the ending came when Big Show actually set up some stairs next to the real announce table. He was standing on the regular announce table. Roman Reigns came up and speared him off of the regular announce table through the Spanish announce table. Then he flipped the regular announce table onto Big Show and stood on top of it so Big Show can answer the count of 10. And I really like this ending. A lot of times last man standing matches end when the opponent is incapacitated to 10, and I like endings where a wrestler just tries to think outside the box and just tries to make sure that his opponent can't stand up for 10 seconds, not necessarily incapacitate him for 10 seconds. And Big Show was kind of knocked out, but, Roman Reigns was standing on top of the table, and, I was perfectly fine with this ending. A lot of people are probably going to shit on it. I don't really give a fuck. I thought this match was the match of the night, 3 3/4 stars. It wasn't, this match and the tag title match, you could go in between. But I thought that this match was really good, and I really liked it, honestly. Bo Dallas came out, which had Ryback came out and destroy him. And throughout this segment, I really thought that Bray Wyatt was going to come out and destroy Ryback because we all know Bo Dallas and Bray Wyatt are brothers. And there's, the rumor swirling that Ryback is the person that Bray Wyatt's talking about. So I was a little surprised that Bray Wyatt was nowhere to be found in this pay-per-view. It's not really that surprising, but, it is what it is. Hopefully on Raw tonight there'll be something with that storyline, because, Bray Wyatt really needs fucking something to do other than these promos. Finally, the main event of the WWE title match with the steel cage. Seth Rollins and Randy Orton. RKO was banned. Kane was the special gatekeeper. Again, the network was kind of going in and out for me throughout this match, and again, I couldn't really rewatch it because my subscription ended as soon as the pay-per-view ended. But from what I did see from this match, I'll give this match 2 3/4 stars from what I did see. People can tell me if you disagree with my rating for this match in particular. But from what I saw, it just wasn't really that interesting to me. The crowd wasn't really that hot into it because the last man standing match just pretty much ended. And just I don't know what it is about cage matches nowadays, but they're just not that interesting to me anymore. I really used to love cage matches, but now it's not, and I think it was because they were oversaturated too. At one point, we saw cage matches fucking once a month, it felt like. But WWE's been good. They've been cutting back on the cage matches recently, at least it seems like it. But this match to me just wasn't that interesting. I thought their match at WrestleMania was a lot better than this, and I didn't really like the ending too much, the whole ending too much. Kane came in, he laid out J&J security. I'm pretty sure Seth Rollins and Randy Orton were both on the mat. He was like deciding who he wanted to choke slam. Ends up choke slamming Randy Orton. Seth Rollins gets up. I think he ends up choke slamming Seth Rollins. But then he puts Seth Rollins' arm all over Randy Orton for the pinfall. Randy Orton somehow kicks out. Kane's pissed. What happens then? Oh, Randy Orton gets up. RKO's Kane. RKO move is banned, but in the match, not necessarily he can do it to whoever the fuck he wants. Just in the match, it was banned. RKO's Kane. Out of nowhere, I didn't see this one coming. Seth Rollins RKO's Randy Orton for the pinfall. I did like this. Supposedly, I did see a GIF earlier in the match. Randy Orton pedigreed Seth Rollins. So, this was a little interesting with all the finishers. Then, Seth Rollins' curb stomp is banned, too. So, there's a whole bunch of shit going on. But, the ending itself with the RKO, I thought that was great. Just the whole, Kane coming in and Kane being so heavily involved in a steel cage match, I thought that this was just overkill. And again, their match at WrestleMania was better. So I'll give that match 2 3/4 stars. Overall, I thought the entire show was about a 6. I recommend, you could watch it. It was like a mediocre show. Do not pay to watch the show whatsoever. It was mediocre at best. The best 2 matches were the tag title match and the last man standing match. To all you New Day haters, screw you. They're awesome. And, Roman Reigns is stepping up his game. So, we'll see what happens on Raw tonight. And, yeah, guys, until I see you guys next time, whenever that will be, I will see you guys. Peace out.